Hey guys, it's Nightwing and JTH here. Now honestly, he messed up really bad.
Did I mess up?
Yeah.
Neither one of us noticed.
To be fair, it was you.
To be fair, okay. Well,
we have some NA. We have some
that was
NA
30
news.
minutes, man.
We have some NA news. We're gonna kind of gloss over it as fast as we can since we kind of ruined.
We don't need to gloss over it.
I'm just okay. So there's quite a few things. We have We'll start backwards since we did the frontwards first starting since we already messed up. Okay, so we have C9 gets Nisqy as their mid laner. Pobelter is now on FlyQuest. TSM is working out a deal to buy a contract from Golden Guardians. You have Huni, who you see in the background, potentially going to Clutch Gaming because he likes losing apparently. And you have 100 Thieves now have a new mid laner in ADC. Huhi and Bang, and Ryu is now going to coach. And someday, extended 2 years, and let's see, TSM might be getting Broken Blade from the Oceania Pro League for 3 years. So they might be trying to replace Haunter. I don't know, actually. But we'll start with Cloud9's Nisqy, since we did the other stuff first and he messed up with recording us. So
I'm taking all the blame.
Okay. Alright, so Cloud9 is my team, and I should probably give my initial thoughts of this. It's not bad they have him, but he doesn't have points where he shows you why he's an outstanding mid laner. He shows them every now and then, like every now and again, but if maybe on this team he'll show that because last year he was on Splice, the year before that was Team NV, and the year before that he was on Fnatic Academy. So I mean, I have hope. He's one of the more mid laners you look at and you're like, okay, he has potential, but what does his potential lie? Is he going to be a super upgrade or is he going to be a super downgrade? Because on paper, this is a super downgrade.
Super downgrade is a stretch. I do remember his Cassiopeia 1v9 games.
Oh yeah, those are good.
Like I think saying that he's not going to be an upgrade. I mean, he's going to be a downgrade is probably the truth, but saying he's going to be a super downgrade, which is kind of a big word.
Well, we have to look at the whole scope of the team.
Let's think about the whole team. Like, I think Jensen's a better player. I won't deny that. But I think that Nisqy's not a bad player himself.
Nisqy doesn't, like, Jensen had periods where he did choke.
Nisqy has not had the chances to choke. Nisqy's been losing a lot.
Yeah. I mean, he's had more bad teams than Jensen, but Jensen's only been on, like, one team. So
Jensen's literally only been on one team.
So I'm okay with it. I don't want him trying to be someone he's not when he's on the team. Like, I don't want him trying to be like Jensen. I want him to just be his own player. That people can be like, okay, he's a good mid laner. He might not be able to stack up against the best, but he's still good on his own to hold on his own.
You know what? Saying that he can't stack up against he did extremely well against Caps, Jukse, all of this. Yeah, he did. I think,
but it did take him a while to. It was like at least 4 weeks when he was still struggling against them. But when he did get his chance to get better, he got better. So.
I mean, I think you're taking away how well, like Nisqy. I don't think he was a world-class mid laner, but he's not bad.
I think he like, since Cloud9's aspiration is Worlds and now potentially World Finals now since they got to semifinals, I think that could you see Nisqy playing well at Worlds?
Okay, I want to put this down there. I think the biggest reason why I believe in him is because of Cloud9's coaching staff is by far the best.
Reaper's teachings?
Yeah, by far the best coaching staff in probably the West. I think they didn't have the players to really go farther in Worlds because of the coaching staff themselves.
Well, they were also trying out, like, it was a factor in rookies first.
I won't deny, there's a lot of things that came into it, but I think the biggest thing is they have a world-class coaching staff.
Mm-hmm. And
they have an extremely friendly environment, so I think he will 100%, if he doesn't flourish in that, he's not going to.
I think that he's going to have like a few bad games in the first few weeks, and people are going to be a little mad at him. But I think that his best things in playoffs, I think his all of his performances that you see like highlights of, they all come from playoffs. So if he's not a good best of one mid laner, no one really cares about best of ones. Just wait till playoffs, and this guy will probably pop off.
We're actually forgetting about one person, which is Golden Glue. He is actually still on the team.
He's still competing for the starting position. That's what he said.
And he's honestly proven me wrong in a lot of aspects.
One year should not take away all the other past not good performances either.
I think his most recent year should have the largest amount of precedence, though.
Yeah, it should, because he did make a huge impact.
If he does well this year, I think that he has earned at least a fighting role in the starting. But if Nisqy plays the way he did in the playoffs, then he's not going to take it from him.
Like
Nisqy played like a monster.
Nisqy was carrying. He's just carrying.
Yeah, Nisqy is most likely going to get the starting spot, but Golden Glue honestly proved that he at least deserves a chance at it.
Because like when you look at Jensen, like the reason why they got Jensen was because they wanted to compete with someone with Bjergsen. Is Nisqy going to compete with Bjergsen?
Honestly, we'll have to see. Honestly,
because that was the initial reason to get Jensen. Was they lost in 2015 spring finals. They were like, okay, we got to get a mid laner that can fight Bjergsen. If we're supposed to be TSM's rival, we got to get a good mid laner. They got Jensen. And eventually, it worked out. People were have even been saying Jensen's been more mechanical, better than Bjergsen.
People say a lot of stuff. I think Bjergsen's been solid. Saying like, I think most people want to rag on Bjergsen, saying, "Oh, you're not Roman" and stuff. And honest, like,
I mean,
some
he
of it-
doesn't.
what?
He's not really he plays more for his lane, if we're being honest.
Well, that's what a lane dominant mid laner does. I think the fact is that he shoves in his teammates, shoves in his laners, and he doesn't roam as often as he should. I won't deny that.
So, as the Cloud9 fan, I think it's okay. I mean, we could have gotten much worse, but it's fine. I think he'll be okay. I think we'll be a top 3 team if we
No.
keep the same people. I think we'll be top 3.
I think you'll be. I don't think
We'll
top
definitely
three's gonna
we'll definitely be in playoffs. But
If we're talking about the upgrades that have happened this year, I do not think top 3 is going to be happening.
I don't personally know where I'll power rank them myself, but I would put them 3rd, 4th.
I'm thinking
3rd, 4th. But when I'm thinking 3rd, 4th, I'm thinking that they play in the first round of the playoffs. People don't think they're good, and then they just smash through that. People don't they're good in the semifinals. They smash through that. They get to the finals, and they might lose in the finals. But I do think that potential to go to the finals if they play their roster out correctly, like they did last year. And now that they've learned more at Worlds, the players have learned more. All the players have gotten better from Worlds. You get your hyperbolic time chamber super buff from Worlds from playing all the best players in the world. And Sneaky's still gonna cosplay. So
I feel like I feel like you give him a little too much slack and a little less credit to the actual roster moves that have happened.
I mean,
Like, I feel like the biggest turning point in this team is whether or not the coaching staff has what it takes to keep up. The coaching staff, I'm going to give 90% of the credit to for who is going to make the difference next year.
even better with that. There's 2 months to prepare. So they're gonna come up with a ton of strats.
You can come up with strats all you want. You're going to run out eventually, and then you're going to rely on, are we better than these teams?
But sometimes we've seen that just because you're better than someone doesn't mean you always win. If whoever plays more consistently on the day and better can always beat the other teams too.
Well, see, we shouldn't rely on that because that can apply to both teams.
I guess I can play too.
Well, you don't guess. That is just what applies to both teams.
All right, so we'll go with the news that might not happen and it might happen. TSM is working on trying to get contracts from Golden Guardians, and they might be getting the Oceania top laner from a Broken Blade from whatever team he's on. So
I mean, Hanser was actually still extremely good in the spring split. I don't see he was
good in the spring split. Summer not so much, but
Was he
I don't
like
think one bad split from him deserves him to be replaced.
I think he's played, like, honestly, his rookie season was probably just as good as Licorice's, and people can kind of forget to, like, actually think about
Yeah, when he
that.
was on Gravity, he was pretty good actually.
Yeah, I mean, his rookie split obviously wasn't as good as Licorice's, but the moment he turned around on, when he became, like, part of the team with TSM, he became, like, honestly just a monster in NA. I don't think, I still, if they're thinking of replacing him, that's their own faults.
Maybe he might go to Academy because on Academy they had Pie Cake Lord.
Who might go to Academy?
Broken Blade.
Is Broken Blade fine with just being an Academy top laner?
That's the problem. You would sign someone to a 3-year deal and they would be on Academy.
I mean, it's usually what you want to do is you have somebody who is a really good backup and have them compete with your mid laner, top laner and stuff.
For a starting spot?
No, for like just training.
I mean like,
and if they play better, they get the starting spot. Who cares?
I mean like, is that really fair to Hansu who's been playing solid for a long time and really good at certain points, even being almost an MVP candidate, and then you try to...
To an extent, you have to at some points, if you're not getting success, you have to stop thinking about what's fair and what's better for the team. That's what.
What's better for the organization too.
Yeah.
And then the Golden Guardians trade, that might happen. I mean, has ESPN lied to us this so far? But I think Contracts is an upgrade over Grig. I don't think he had a good year in Golden Guardians. I think it was just a bad year in
Did
general.
you say the Golden Guardians and not say what it was?
For what?
You gotta say what the trade is.
Oh, the trade is to buy out Contracts' contract from Golden Guardians. They would probably might still keep Grig because they don't have Mike Young anymore. Remember, they got rid of him.
Yes, I think that Grig, like honestly,
So who should be on Academy? Contracts or Grig?
I mean, if we're gonna be honest, Contracts was a really terribly performing player the entire last.
Yeah,
year.
so he's had one good. Well, do we count the Challenger year? We count qualified?
I think he played extremely I think he was led. I think what made him look so good is a strong hand leading him in the correct directions. He had high back in the academy.
He had elimination still. There was
yeah,
balls.
he had, and then on the actual C9, he had the C9 roster.
Yeah. So he's had 1.5 good years if you count the full year 2017 and the half of the Challenger split in 2016 summer.
I think he's good when somebody's telling him what to do. I think that's.
But that could be a lot of junglers though.
No, I think some junglers are shot callers, and I think some junglers can make decisions on their own.
He's the type of player that I think functions better when someone's telling you what to do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think
And that would work for TSM. They like doing that.
He's not a shot caller. He's not an aggressive jungler unless you tell him to be. He's gonna do whatever you tell him. And Golden Guardians didn't have somebody to tell him what to do. Let's be honest.
They had High doing it.
High did it, and honestly, I feel like
And then they got Bobachin and Mickey. But I think that theoretically he can be an upgrade. Contracts brings world experience. He brings knowledge of just a fine. If you think about it, he brings a fine night of knowledge from a lot of things.
I think he's gonna be on the challenger scene until he proves that he doesn't deserve his last split as his yeah. He has to make it seem like his last season.
Just to keep playing.
Yes,
Grig got rank 1 in challenger, didn't he?
It's not about that. I'm saying like Grig has been playing. Grig did not play extremely terrible. I think he's the weak link, but just
he's more of a supportive jungler. He's not really gonna be your aggressive jungler. This dude's. I mean, people always compliment him smiting things. I mean, congrats to you. You can press D on your keyboard. I mean,
come on. Smiting things is genuinely a hard thing.
You try smiting a red buff and it's about to kill you.
I don't die to my buffs because I'm not actually bronze.
I'm challenger.
Okay.
Okay. Now we have 100 Thieves going to get some new upgrades. Ryu coaching, Huni mid lane, and Bang ADC. Those initial thoughts when you first heard that? So you get like Huni and Afro Ryu.
I'm just trying to think like I think with that kind of roster, they still have a weak link.
They were talking about getting Blabber too. I think Blabber would have been a lot more better than Onda
in
a lot of certain cases.
I want to be honest. Onda looked pretty okay in
Blabber
Worlds.
only looked bad at World, but I mean
yeah, but Onda only looked good at Worlds. Let's be honest.
You're talking about, but a lot of the teams have said investors care about regional success. Blabber's been successful, kind of regionally. I mean, both technically both got to their finals.
Really, they said regional success was more important. Really?
Yeah. Someone had leaked it. Someone had talked about it. They said regional success is what matters. Because if you see regional success, they're like, okay, this team's good. If I put money here, I'll get.
What I'm saying is regional. I can see what you're saying. Regional success brings in that region's fans to your team.
That's true.
That's the biggest reason as to why TSM has the biggest fan base. They've been the most successful.
Steve could probably buy Korea if he wants.
Steve has had one successful year.
Steve could have bought Faker if he wanted.
I mean, most teams in NA have extremely large amounts of money.
They probably could buy Faker.
Well, Korea does too. I mean, they had Samsung, and SKT's worth a massive amount.
Gosh. If I'm just go over both players, I think both players are. Let me see who they have from. Yeah, Hui's definitely an upgrade of Ryu. Hui played solid all year on CLG. I think he was trying to lead the team like Afro, which just wasn't working. So having another helping hand in the same teammate is going to be a lot better for him. Bang is an upgrade over Cody's son. I still don't think they needed to do that if they just treated Cody's son right. Like they didn't even really need an upgrade ADC, and then they could have just used that import slot somewhere else if they needed to. But now you're kind of forced into getting an ADC that you didn't really need to probably get. But Bang has proven that he was really consistent this year, and maybe more consistent than Faker. He doesn't like when I say that
because it's not true.
See, I'm right.
Let's go over the reason why. Because I want to be honest. If we're gonna say these kind of drastic statements, we need to give a reason as to why we think that.
If you look at the gameplay.
If we look at the gameplay, let's think of like the most consistent player on that team is, in my opinion, obviously Faker. Faker got replaced because of the fact that essentially Blossom, Blank, and Fall could not function with him on the team for some reason. It was obvious Pyrian was the weaker player, but for some reason Blank fell apart when Faker came onto the team, and
Blank
I still don't know.
Became a different jungler.
He played well without Faker on the team.
I know, actually. Huh,
but Bang.
If we're looking at Bang specifically,
if we're looking at stats. Obviously, Bang has better stats because of the metas that were in stat. Like essentially, Faker wasn't playing a lot. Faker was forced on supportive roles.
Sometimes.
But he played Taric and was
played
playing
Galio.
The funnel comp Galio. But
there were some games where he played Zaya and he was the carry and he won them a couple games.
Yeah, what I'm saying is I think that he just didn't play.
Or if you're talking about consistency in like 1 week Faker's like borderline feeding and like 1 week Bang is not feeding.
I don't think that happened. I don't think Faker consistently fed.
No. There are some games where people like the Kassadin game where he jumps in against a Tristana under 2 towers.
I think Faker.
Would the Faker of a few years ago do that? No. I don't think it would have.
What?
I think the mentality, like, just having to carry his team.
Yeah, he's been forced into a situation where he thinks he has to be the carry.
Yeah.
And I think he's gonna look a lot better than him, but I don't think that Bang looked better than him last season. I think that's a stretch.
So now we have that taken care of. We have who's next? Pole Belter to FlyQuest. That's a pretty quick one.
I don't know.
So their roster could be JJ, Wild Turtle, Pole Belter, and Santorin, and then whoever top lane.
They
what if they get? They're probably gonna get Solo.
Oh, that's probably a world class team right there.
That's at least what semifinals.
As long as you have 5 NA players, NA players have had the most success. Obviously.
Could they beat?
No, I'm so sad.
Could they beat a Freak of Freaks like Cloud9 did?
I think they could. I don't see them beating anybody.
And Freak of Freaks have no players.
I really think they're actually going to get 0 wins next split.
Could they have beaten KT Rolster of 2017?
Don't hurt my feelings with that.
I think Pole Belter's an upgrade. I think FlyQuest is always going to be a team that is just going to make playoffs and just probably get knocked out at like 3rd or 1st.
They're not making playoffs with that squad. Man.
If they do get Solo, because Solo,
if they get Solo, they're actually gonna get last place. It's like not even a stretch to say that they're gonna get last place, or Golden Guardians. It's gonna be in battle.
It's gonna be a battle for last place.
It's gonna because it doesn't look like Flame's coming back.
On the topic of Pole Belter to FlyQuest, Huni is now on Clutch Gaming.
How's that on topic?
Because he likes losing. Goes solo.
See, the thing about it is they don't have a lot of their roster locked in, so I'm seeing. It seems to me like they're making some roster moves.
Because it's the problem with like Someday thing. They extended Sunday's contract first, and they gave him a better team.
So my knowledge of the roster is gonna be it's gonna be Huni, Acadian, Phoenix was apparently rumored to go there, and then the bot lane. And
Paulo and Hako, which are pretty good. They were pretty good for a
And honestly, there's a lot of free agents in the bottom lane.
I think Acadian and Huni would be a better duo.
I think Acadian looked pretty terrible. Let's be honest.
Sometimes he looks like the best jungler, and then looks like why is he even playing this game?
And let's think about it like this: Echo Fox is going to look terrible without him. Echo Fox is going to look garbage.
Without Huni, probably.
Like,
what if Echo Fox gets solo?
Why do you even mention this to me? Like, I'm gonna be like, well, that fixes it. I
was hoping for that.
I don't like Solo. I think Solo was not a good player. I don't know what to say. Like, he played consistently for like 3 weeks, and then the rest of the time he sucked.
Gosh,
I'm sorry,
Solo. Let's try to go the person that's in the thumbnail. Okay, let's do Clutch. Okay, so Clutch got an upgrade in top lane.
Did it? They did. Is it confirmed?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they got a better top laner. Okay. Phoenix over who else was there? Fevin. Okay, so Fevin left. That's fine. I think Phoenix was MVP candidate for most of spring.
Fevin was a better player.
Yeah.
Fevin that's a downgrade.
Yeah, but I think that Phoenix, if he played like he did on Echo Fox in spring, that's fine. That's exactly. You don't need to be better. You just play exactly how you play, and you're totally fine.
The jungler apparently
what if it's oh my god? What if the jungler's Moon over Lyra?
Wait,
Lyra didn't actually play that good. If I'm being honest, Lyra did not play that good in 2018.
I mean, what?
Lyra did not play good in 2018. Like he didn't play as good as he should have probably. Like he just. Moon didn't play.
Are they not getting Acadian? I don't know. That was rumored.
I don't know. Let me hold on to my phone for a second. But if it's Acadian, that's totally fine because I think that's a lot better than having Moon or Lyra because they both didn't even play great at all.
Yeah, because I actually I saw a few things that popped up that said Acadian was rumored to go to Clutch Gaming, so I'm a little excited about that. I don't think Acadian's been strong recently, but I do think like the way I've seen him play, he still has carry potential. He just hasn't had the teammates around him. I think his pathing has been pretty decent. I think his ganks haven't been great. I mean, he still exerts a lot of early game pressure. He just doesn't. He doesn't like honestly when he ganks, he's ganking for those teammates. So
like I haven't seen anything yet, but I mean if that's been the case, then that's totally fine. You know, I think that's Acadian will be a massive upgrade over both Lyra and Hawk and Moon.
I don't know about Lyra.
But the problem with Lyra is that he's Korean. He can't speak English, so it's hard to communicate with your top laner. But if they paired Lyra with Huni, that would be a lot better for them in general.
I think Lyra would be a better player, to be honest. I think Lyra is mechanically stronger. Lyra's had more success. Lyra's looked better, except he looked terrible in the last split. Well, I think Acadian can converse with the team, which is why I think this might be a good pickup.
And then, okay, so we have that, and, I mean, Huni to them is better. I mean, that's not really it.
Well, no, but I think, like, Acadian would be a good pickup, but if we're talking about we want a higher skill sim, or they're gonna have to keep Lyra.
Yeah. And then, okay, so that's that, and we have the...
Well, no, because if they do that, then they can't, because Phoenix is not, what's it called, until the second split.
Oh, yeah.
He still counts as an import or until the second split of this season.
So once Phoenix is
that's why I think they're getting, that's the big reason why I think they're getting Acadian. Because they're going to play him for the first split.
And then next split maybe use
and
Lyra.
Then use Lyra, so it's going to be Huni, Lyra, Phoenix mid, and then the bot lane.
This is not that bad a team.
And then let's look like what's gonna happen to Echo Fox now? Now that they lost their top.
They would
lane.
have Dardoch, Demonte, Lost, and Smoothie. Smoothie, if you watch this video ever, please go back to a better team.
That's just.
It sounds like this team's gonna be a train wreck.
Let's look at how strong this team looks.
What if they bring in? Who is their academy top laner? Whoever that is, try that guy because it's better than trying solo.
No, like let's be honest.
Okay.
Dardoch is the best jungler in NA. That's without a doubt in my mind. He's been consistently for these past 2 splits the best top.
What
jungler.
if they can't re-get Froggen because Lost is an import?
Oh yeah, Froggen was like. There's the rumor for Froggen coming back on one of the.
But
teams.
that was a joke.
No, it wasn't a joke. It was one of the teams was talking about. I can't remember which one.
Echo Fox, wasn't it? But I mean, he's already been there before. Like I've never really seen a person just go back to a team they already went on before. It's very rare.
Let's think about that. If he goes back.
They'll have a better team.
No, they'll have 2 imports. Just think about it. They have 2 imports now. Who do they get top lane? They have to use an NA top laner.
Frank.
They don't have anybody.
Gosh.
They could steal Impact, but like, no. Why would Impact want to leave that amazing team?
And they're not going to give him more money to Impact than Steve can.
Probably not.
They would just at this point you'd be forced to try out your academy top laner. You're literally forced into that at that point.
They don't have a choice.
That's it.
I think
like you're not even in. You got to move over a little bit more. No, like this way, closer to me.
Oh Jesus, man! Don't do that.
All right, so the last one is CLG gets Power of Evil because Huni is not there anymore. So
all right, so CLG consists of a strong, young bot lane.
Okay, so
are they even young anymore? It's been like 2.5 years.
So we know the bottom side is mid, Stixay, and Botfrost. I think they should just go with Wiggly over Rainover. I also think that they should try Fallen Bandit for a couple weeks and see how he fares.
I think that Wiggly. Let me think. Wiggly.
Because Wiggly, even after
he had great stats.
Even after those LCS games, if you go back to that Academy Finals, he played really well in that too.
I think Wiggly looked good. I think
he looked like he fit the team better.
The thing about it is, we put him in there. We've lost. We've put in something that we can have an import now. Like yeah. I think that might be a good pickup.
Throw in Fallen Bandit and Wiggly, Power of Evil, Stixay, and Biofrost. I think that could be your dark horse team of the league.
So Wiggly, I don't know about Fallen Bandit.
But if you don't, but if you don't do that, if you throw in Darshan, Wiggly, Power of Evil, and the bot lane, that's a dark horse for.
I think they will be a 6th place team in that aspect.
Maybe 5th place if you win a couple games like.
I don't think they'll be able to beat out TSM. No, TSM might actually not be good next year. I'm looking. They don't see. I
don't know what they're going to do.
They haven't made substantial upgrades.
All Sven talked about was that it's complicated. But Zix and Reginald both followed Peanut on Twitter.
Don't say that. Don't say this stuff to me.
Okay, well I guess the video's over then.
No, don't say that. That stuff excites me. That's
not for YouTube.
I'm taking a picture of him.
Oh god.
I'm taking a picture. We go in there and I'm taking a picture with him if they have.
So that's pretty much it for all these new roster moves. We're about to do a Europe video after that, and then we'll do a SKT one because apparently talking about SKT is a really big fan thing. So
big fan thing.
All right, so to recap everything, I think it's going to be really 50-50. Now, Echo Fox doesn't have a top laner. Clutch has a better top laner. C9 has a wild card mid laner. CLG has a upgrade mid laner. 100 Thieves got an upgrade. So it looks like 100 Thieves and TL won the offseason so far. But when we get to Europe, Misfits won the offseason, I think. Maybe.
Misfits won the offseason?
I think they have. But that's in the next video, guys. So, Nightwing. I hate this guy. This guy needs to die.